Hello and welcome. Yes, this is the very first episode of the High Achievers podcast brought to you by my Coach AnnySHO LLC. I am Coach AnnySHO and I am thrilled to have you here today. Woo! Welcome! This podcast is all about helping you achieve more in your career or business without overworking yourself. We will explore how to work smarter, not harder, so you can focus on what truly matters, your loved ones, your passions, and the life you've always dreamed of living. After all, is it not that the real purpose of building a successful career? I cannot tell you how excited I am to finally kick this off. Oh yes, this podcast has been months in the making, and today it is becoming a reality. And in this episode, I want to introduce you to this amazing idea we've been working on. I will walk you through why the High Achievers podcast could be the game changer you've been looking for. My goal is to help you think differently about your work and the results you aim for, because sometimes a little shift in perspective can make all the difference. No matter where or when you are tuning in, whether you are sipping your morning coffee, that is making me think that next time I should have my coffee here. Alright, okay. So whether you are sipping your morning coffee, stuck in traffic, or unwinding after a long day, I'm so grateful to have you join me. This podcast is not just about me sharing advice, it is about you. You are here because you want more from your career and your life. You are here because you know there is a room to grow and you are ready to take the next step. Now, let me ask you a few questions. I want you to think carefully as I go through them and see which one sounds like you. First, do you feel like no matter how much effort you put into your work, you are not making the progress you hoped for? Maybe you've been working so hard, but it feels like you are stuck in the same place. No promotion, no recognition, no real growth. Does that sound like you? Or perhaps you are at a point where you know you need help to get to the next level. You might be thinking, I'm doing okay, but I cannot figure out how to take that big leap forward. I just need someone who is been there, someone who understands and can guide me. Finally, maybe you are already doing well. You've been promoted, your salary is good, and from the outside, everything looks great. But inside, everything is upside down. You feel completely drained. The pressure of keeping up with expectation is wearing you out. It is starting to affect your health, your relationship, and your overall happiness. What you really need is a way to make your workload lighter while still being productive and achieving results. Alright, so do any of these sound like you? If so, you are in the right place. Let me tell you a little about myself. I am Coach AnnySHO. I have 15 years of career experience within the African environment while working with various global companies. I have interacted with high-level professionals and find my place among people with diverse experiences and impressive profiles. Yes. Along the way, I faced toxic and challenging work environments where opportunities for growth seemed scarce. Yet, I managed to overcome those challenges and worked my way up from entry-level positions to leadership roles. I truly understand the struggle professionals face in the African job market. My journey was not easy, not at all. I went through very tough experiences in the workplace. I dealt with rejection from colleagues and superiors. I endured moments of humiliation from people who doubted my abilities and thought I wouldn't succeed. But you know what? I eventually realized that most of the pain I experienced was not just caused by others. A lot of it came from within me. And let me explain why. I discovered that no matter what people say or do, it is the power you give to their opinions that shape your life and career. At the beginning, I allowed their negative words to influence how I saw myself. But everything changed when I shifted my mindset and approach. Now, looking back, I realized I did not have to go through so much suffering. If only I had known then what I know today, my journey would have been much easier. That is why I've made it my mission to help others. And that is exactly what this podcast is all about. Helping you discover yourself while giving you the tools, strategies, and mindset you need to succeed in your life and career. Let me share what makes the High Achievers podcast truly special and what you can look forward to as you join me on this journey. This podcast is all about sharing practical career advice that you can use right away. It is not just about talking. It is about giving you real strategies and stories that you can apply to your life. Here, you will hear success stories from people who, just like you, wanted more out of their careers and found ways to achieve it. This reminds me of a saying I often hear: experience is the best teacher. While that is true, I always say it can be dangerous to wait for life to teach you through painful experiences. Instead, why not learn from the mistakes and lessons of others? And that is exactly what we aim to do here. Help you avoid unnecessary struggle by sharing lessons that others have already learned the hard way. My husband once shared an experience that perfectly illustrates this. Back in his university days, he was actively involved in project management for a student association. He was doing exceptionally well and gaining recognition as an excellent project manager. One day, someone from another university came to implement a massive project in his school. This person, who was highly experienced and well-connected, had visited the campus a few times before to identify talented students who could assist with his project. He approached my husband and asked him to join the team, explaining that he had better networks and more experience that could benefit my husband. But my husband was confident in his own abilities and declined the offer. He said he didn't need a mentor because he believed he was already doing well on his own. The man then said something that has stayed with my husband ever since. He told him, Ariel, that's his name, it can take 10 years to get a vision off the ground. But if you work with me, I might be able to help you accomplish in 2 or 3 years what would otherwise take a decade. He shared his own story of struggling alone for 10 years before his dream finally started to take shape. Unfortunately, or fortunately, because I do believe that there is no mistake, my husband did not take the advice at the time. It was not until he, too, spent 10 good years working on his dream that he realized the value of mentorship. He now uses this story to encourage others, reminding them that investing in learning and guidance can save years of frustration. This is one of the core messages of this podcast: the importance of learning from those who have already walked the path you are on. Beyond stories like this, we will also tackle the challenges many of us face in the workplace. Things like building trust with partners or managers, overcoming bias, and standing out in a crowded job market. These are real issues, and we are here to offer practical solutions that can make a difference in your career. Every episode has been carefully planned to deliver lasting value. My team and I have put so much thought into the structure of this podcast, ensuring that the content will remain relevant even years from now. We are committed to bringing you new episodes every single week, and I cannot wait for you to hear what we have in store for you. Some weeks, you will hear solo episodes where I will share my personal insights, career tips, and the lessons I have learned as a coach and mentor. Other weeks, we will have interviews with professionals who have climbed to the top of their field. They will share their stories and give you insider tips that you won't hear anywhere else. We are also exploring the idea of doing question and answer session where I will answer your burning career question right here on the show. It is an amazing way to get personalized advice, and one of my personal favorites will be panel discussions. I love bringing together diverse voices to talk about trending career topics. These discussions will be honest, engaging, and full of valuable perspectives. I'm so excited about this podcast because it is something I've been passionate about for years. My team has worked hard to introduce this new and exciting approach, and I am thrilled that you are here to be part of this. Together, we will explore new ideas, solve career challenges, and help you achieve your dreams. Okay, today I want to talk about why we decided to start this podcast. You might be wondering, why this podcast? Why now? Well, let me explain. Over the years, I have seen so many hardworking and talented people who are smart and capable, struggling in their career. They feel stuck, invisible, and unappreciated. It is heartbreaking to see because they know deep down that they can achieve so much more. They just do not know how to break through and make it happen. I know exactly how that feels because I've been there. I've been there too. There was a moment when I felt like no one noticed my effort. I worked so hard, but it seems like, it did not matter. It was frustrating and disheartening, but then I figured out how to change things. I learned how to position myself better, how to build trust with the right people, and how to clearly show my value. Yes. And that is the kind of knowledge and experience I want to share with you through this podcast. This is not just about me though. I will also be bringing you incredible career success stories from African professionals who have achieved remarkable things despite tough challenges. These are people who have beaten the odds, climbed the ladders, and completely redefined success for themselves. Their stories are meant to inspire you and remind you that if they can do it, then you can. And one of the biggest reasons we decided to launch this podcast is tied to a dream my husband and I share. We want to play our part in helping Africa and anyone, anywhere in the world who desire a better life. You see, many African countries face tough political and socio-economic challenges that have a huge impact on career professionals. Imagine waiting 4 or 5 years for a new government to take over, hoping that we make things better at work or in business, only for things to remain the same or even get worse. What we are seeing now is that many workers and business owners are giving up. Yes, they have become complacent, accepting things as they are, even though they know things should be better. People are losing their energy and motivation to pursue their dream. And it is disheartening to see so many give up on their potential because they just don't see a way forward. But it is not just about politics or the economy. These challenges also come from cultural and religious systems that hold people back. Yes, Some teachings and traditions fill workers with limiting beliefs that keep them running in circles, unable to grow or move forward. They hear ideas that do not align with their goals, but they feel trapped because this is how it has always been. Maybe they think, this is how my family have always lived, and my grandfather believed this, my father followed it, and now it is my turn. But you know what? Let me tell you, that does not have to be your story. You can change. You can just rewrite your own path. And that is exactly why we are here. We want to help you see things the way they should be, not just the way they are. The current way of doing things has too many flaws. It is time to shift your focus to what is possible and create the life and career you deserve. And that is what this podcast is all about. Helping you dream bigger, work smarter, and achieve more. Let's talk about you for a moment. Yes. Think about where you are in your career right now. What is the biggest issue you are dealing with? Is it trying to get that well-deserved promotion? Struggling to find a mentor who truly understands you? Or maybe you are feeling stuck and unsure about what steps to take next. Whatever it is, you are not alone, and this podcast is here to help you figure it out. Here is the thing. You already have what it takes to succeed. Sometimes, all you need is a little guidance, the right tools, and some smart strategies to help you unlock your potential. That is why we are doing this podcast, to give you the knowledge and support you need to overcome those challenges and reach your career goals. Now, how can you make the most of this amazing opportunity? First, if you are following us on social media, do not forget to hit that subscribe or follow button. And do not forget to turn on your notification so you never miss an episode. We've got so much valuable content coming your way and you won't want to miss it, I'm sure. Second, get ready to dive in and learn. Make sure your device has enough internet data so you can listen and watch without interruption. Keep a notebook or any note-taking material nearby so you can jot down the important tips and ideas that speak to you. If possible, set aside a special or specific time each week to focus on the lessons we will be sharing. Treat it as an investment in your personal and professional growth. Lastly, there might be times when we recommend additional resources like books, courses, coaching, or webinars. These things can take your learning to the next level. So, prepare yourself mentally and financially to take advantage of them if they align with your goals. Whether you are catching this episode at the end of the year or even in the new year, this is the perfect time to reflect on your career. Think about how you show up at work and in the workplace, in the marketplace. That is what the High Achiever podcast with Coach AnnySHO is all about, helping you position yourself for success and shine in your career. Alright, let me give you a quick preview of what is coming up in the next few weeks. Every Wednesday at 7 a.m., we will dive into exciting topics that are all about helping you grow in your career and beyond. Next week, we will talk about what life looks like after work and how to redefine success beyond just the daily grind. The following week, I will share some personal lessons like the 3 big mistakes that cost me a promotion and how you can avoid falling into the same traps. In another week, we will cover ways to build trust with your managers and colleagues, which is a key ingredient for career growth. And of course, I will give you sneak peeks into my programs, including the incredible 5-day career progression course designed to set you on the fast track to success. Before we wrap up, I have a small favor to ask you. Yes, a little one. If you enjoyed this podcast or you like the idea, do not keep it for yourself. Please share it with anyone you know who could use a little inspiration in their career. And if you are ready to take things to the next level, visit my website and explore the 5-day career progression course. Thank you for tuning in today, and I cannot wait to see you next time.